speak now, we are heading into a crisis in this country. And the crisis is caused by a government that refuses to respect the Constitution of Guyana. A government that acts with impunity, that believes that it can violate our laws, it can put itself above the Constitution of Guyana, and that it must still have our support and respect. We are fast approaching a coup d'etat in Guyana. In most parts of the world, a coup d'etat takes place when there is violence, a military overthrow of a government. In Guyana, we are facing a constitutional coup d'etat, where this government is overthrowing the constitutional order of Guyana. And so from the night of March 21st, we would have an illegal government in Guyana, and with all of its attendant consequences for the people of this country. They're putting everything at risk in their lust to hang on to power in violation of the Constitution. They are putting our security at risk. They're putting our territorial integrity at risk. They're putting our economic well-being, because we have lost jobs, but more jobs will be lost because of a drying up of investments. They're putting the normal functioning of our state at risk only because the old PNC has returned in a new guise, and they don't want to give up power and respect the Constitution. So I want to say to you that the lesson of Phagwah is a very important one. Apart from it being the festival of colors and the celebration of the spring season in India, there from our scriptures, you will gather that it is also the celebration of good and the triumph of good over evil. But one thing that you know, those of you who have read the scriptures, you will know that change for good comes only out of struggle. It doesn't happen by itself. And so those of you who grew up in villages like I did, and when we went to the Mandir and they said, do not bring politics in the Mandir. I remember one man from my village, his name is Yogi. He said, what if you look at the Bhagavad Gita, you will find that the entire Gita is filled with politics. Because when they were on the battlefield in Kurukshetra, and Rama Arjuna did not want to fight the others because he said they're my relatives, but they were on the wrong side of history. They were the oppressors. And Lord Krishna said to him, you have to stand on the side of righteousness and good. And you have to, and that's the only way you prevail in the country. And so the scripture tells us we have to struggle for things. They don't come about just by themselves. And we want to promise you one thing, that the People's Progressive Party will struggle every single day to maintain the freedoms that we've enjoyed in this country and to restore prosperity to our people. Whatever the cost, however long they struggle, well, we will do it. And good days are coming. This government has not only managed with impunity, but totally heartless. Totally heartless. The closure of those estates did not have to happen. 11,000 people lost their jobs because of a simple, unthinking, careless action of this government that could have been avoided. 11,000 people who can't feed their families. We have gone across the sugar belt here and in Burmese, and people don't have food for their families. The kids have to come out of school. They don't have money for basic things. They have to pay electricity and water bill. There's misery every single day. People are thinking about where the next meal will come from. And they have lived in an ivory tower. The only reason they're back on the ground now is they need people once again. But they have, for 4 years, they've neglected everyone. Not only PPP supporters, but people all across Guyana. And so, we have promised in our manifesto that we will reopen the sugar estates. Here, they made it so difficult. But in Wales, let me tell you, because we like to be factual with our people, in the estates there, they're preserved. Wales here, even as I speak, today I was briefing the party, the leadership of the party, and I was telling them that they're corruptly selling off the Wales estate now, stripping it and selling it a scrap iron through a corrupt deal. So by the time we get back in office, you will not have an estate here. You will not have it. But you remember what we said? We will put people back to work, and all those sugar workers in the 3 other estates will get support. They will get back their jobs. And here at Wales, every sugar worker who was laid off will get a stipend from the government of Guyana until we can find jobs for them once we get back in office. Every single one of them. And this will happen. We made that promise 2 years ago, and we intend to fulfill it. We are not to wait forever. If you look at the farmers here, I was here in Canal, and I talked to people who were thriving. They're in the middle class, who now have to go and seek employment elsewhere because the private cane farmers now can't grow cane anymore. So they lost income, and they've lost the employment opportunities for people who are hired from these communities. We have to work with them to find other use for the land so they can go back into production too. And we will do that urgently. We promise them right here. And if you look at the flyer we are circulating, I hope you've read a copy of the flyer. We have deposited it to every home in this area here. Because even before we have completed our manifesto, we promised to reverse a lot of the things that they have done. The water, the VAT on electricity and water and medicines, we plan to remove those. And as Irfan said, to put back the water subsidy to pensioners and the school kids grant. A ton of those things we have to do, but in there, we also made some promises to the women of Guyana that we will ensure that we create a fund enough to assist women of Guyana to create small businesses so many of you can stay employed and get gainfully employed. Read the flyer carefully, and we have not even finished our manifesto as yet. We will work every single day until people can get a job and feed their families. And we transform this country without oil money. With the proper use of the oil resources, Guyana will prosper under the People's Progressive Party. And we are going to take it back. And so, comrades, this party, as everyone pointed out, is a party that was set up by Chedi Jagan to fight for people's rights and to enhance their well-being. We will forever remain faithful to those ideals. Our party welcomes people of every race, every religion, every gender, because we are the PPP. We stand above issues that divide our people. And so that is the nature of the PPP. You're very fortunate that you're going to have a president from Region 3, that Irfan Ali is 38 years old now. He has more energy than the whole cabinet put together. Yes? Where is Irfan Ali? He's not doing a press conference. And I said, Irfan Ali has gone to regions 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, region 10, and he was in region 9. A whole week in the mountains and the savannas, in 1 month of him being selected as presidential candidate. Granger, in the past 10 years, his whole career, all the 4 years of his presidency, has not gone to so many places that he has done in 1 month. Because he's young, he has energy, and he comes from his grandmother. His grandmother grew up in the party. She was struggling with Dr. Jagdeo over the years. His father and mother are core party people. They grew up in the PPP. So I have no doubt that the PPP agenda will be primary in his head. He is our economic spokesperson in Parliament. The biggest challenge of the future will be of an economic nature. He doesn't need to get advisors in a meeting. He will be able to understand and deal with those issues off the top of the head. He had 3 ministries at one time, managing them, big portfolios, so his capacity to deliver is there. And then he's blooded on the ground. He's come to these areas, he's seen the pain and suffering and the challenges of people. So any person who comes from that background has to make a good president. And he will carry forward the agenda of the People's Progressive Party. And we'll all be by his side to ensure that our country moves forward. So we now just have to be patient, we have to work, we have to put pressure on this illegal government. We need you to do that too, yes, chase them out too. Not, you guess who you're doing? The cabinet ministers and Granger and Nagamutu. These are the ones who, when they come to the community, say to them, why are you here after 4 years? We don't need to see you now. Leave the community. Chase them out. That's what we have to do. They don't like hearing that. But I repeat it over and over. I don't care what they like or they don't like. We're not going to burn people's houses down, and we're not going to beat them up. We don't believe in violence. But we have mouth, we have some big mouth too. So we can do that, and we can protest and make life uncomfortable for them until we get them out. We're working with the international community. We'll put pressure on them. They can run. We have patience. They can run for a while, but they can't hide from us. Because when the elections come, we are going to trash them convincingly and massively. So don't worry too much, but make sure that we're ready. All of you, every single one of you. When there is a protest, I know it's hard sometimes to travel and stuff. Show up at it. We have to stand up like the people who effected changes, like the scriptures, the Hindu scriptures, and every scripture for that matter, the Quran, the Bible, etc. People only achieve progress when they struggle for it, and you are important. So don't let us waste the lesson of Phagwah. Phagwah is about a fight of good, the triumph of good over evil. I want to thank all the bandits and everyone once again for putting this together, and particularly our presidential candidate, and to thank you for being here today. Stay strong. We are able to move forward and stay hopeful. Better days are coming to Ghana. Thank you.